GMIC, you're up.
Yay. So, we don't have like CC, crowd control and such in Mass Effect. Would it be acceptable to assume that my healing spells heal those states? Or
I'm gonna heal which states specifically?
like
the conditions.
low, yeah.
We don't have. I thought Mass Effect has status ailments.
I mean, it has the fire that can be triggered with another. It's like if things like if you get electric attacks, it deals more damage to your
I see
armor.
what you're saying.
But
see.
it's not like you can be in the air, but there is no. Well, there is poison. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can. I'll say you can.
Okay. So, the first thing GMIC does is like scream to Nathan, "Just don't kill them!" And then cast, I think it's throw. It's
Okay.
a cantrip on. Well, the one that is closer to GMIC. If the target is medium or smaller, push it back 10 meters. Okay, it's a 1d8.
All right, then you
Not
do.
that much.
Now,
That's a cantrip. Yeah.
yes. So it's 6 ghost type, and this is against a dark type. And I think that ghost against dark, is it half damage or is it double damage?
I'd say it's half because it sounds very
Yeah.
similar. Like, you know, I'd
I
say
think
it's half.
ghost
kind of
is
thing.
half damage. If I'm reading the chart properly, I'm looking at the Pokemon chart. I think it actually
Yeah,
is
it's
half.
half.
All right. So unfortunately, it's half.
Yeah, Ghost is not very good against Dark.
Yeah.
And then GMIC goes to Nathan and touches Nathan and heals Nathan by, let's see, first aid. 11.
Okay.
Back to full.
Back to full, and
Yes.
you no longer are in the vortex.
We
Okay. Cassie, you're up.
What type is GMIC again, did we decide?
Ghost electric.
go. Yeah.
Oh, good. So you're bad against both of them. Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
That's fun.
I didn't plan that, I swear. It's just I was looking for
You just want to hurt GMIC.
I was just looking
You
for
know-
a thief Pokemon and I saw Crocodile. I was like, okay, that's a crook. So
You know,
Yeah.
the funny thing, you know what the funny thing is? Nathan technically has psychic damage available to him.
yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing I have.
Which does no damage to these guys. Unfortunately.
Yeah,
okay.
but that is the thing. Also, is necrotic considered dark?
Is what it is what?
That's necrotic.
I would
Like,
say
it's-
so.
it-
I would say so.
yeah, that makes some other sense.
Okay, so, Cassie then? Well, I mean, where's this dude? Like, elevation-wise?
He's probably about 10 feet. Yeah, like I would say that he's about we'll say 8 feet. 8 feet from the ground.
So if I'm using a projectile of sorts, like, would that affect the range, do you think? Like, if I have a range of 4, does that height make a difference?
Not
really?
enough to matter, as in you'll hit it from there. I'll let
Okay,
you hit
cool.
it from there.
Alright. So, in that case then, she'll just extend a hand toward it. Her glove will start to glow that sort of molten-y, embers kind of red. There'll be like a burst and a swirl around her hand, and then the same thing will appear around that. So let's see if it actually connects. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
So, I mean, it depends on its evasion.
You hit it.
Okay, cool. So then, in that case too, let's see, I rolled... Oh, perfect. Okay, so on top of the damage from this, it's doubled because it's super effective,
Nice.
and it takes a tick of hit points and damage too.
So it's 19 times 2, which is 38.
Yeah, it's 38, and then whatever a tick of hit points is for it. Yeah, Nevi is here, at least present, but I don't know if she's participating in the fight.
She probably has some. She probably is armed with something. I think what she has is a more of a melee attack, though. So
Because she doesn't still hold, like, a firearm, right?
I don't think she can. She holds a firearm. So she'll probably have what would make sense for her to have as a melee weapon of some sort. I kind of see Nevi as when she's out, like trying to protect herself. She's probably something blunt. So almost like a baton, like baton/nightstick kind of thing.
Just pulls out her tonfa, you know.
Her tonfa. There we go. Or tonfa. I can see her with a tonfa actually.
Tonfa are awesome.
That let's do that. So she will rush past to here, and then she's going to try to strike this creature.
I tried to just move past them. They brought this upon themselves.
Yep, you did.
You can't say you didn't try. I'll give you that much. Oh, the bullshit was radiating in such a way even I could smell it.
She is very, very tired.
She hits it really hard with 19 damage. 19 damage. Nice. And then, oh, sorry, she was technically supposed to go after the larger crocodiles, but that's okay. It's not going to affect.
Oh, but as long as they don't target her, it wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, it wouldn't make any difference. So the crocodiles is going to cast. This crocodile is prone, so he's just going to spend a turn to get up. This crocodile.
Attack of opportunity.
I'll assume that you get an attack of opportunity. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a free action.
14 damage.
Only once per round. Cannot be made by sleeping, flinched, or paralyzed.
The other one is going to burrow and dig. He will dig.
Oh no, he could appear anywhere.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, that'll be its turn. Now it's Imp's turn.
Is
And
Imp
just to
still
be
fire
clear-
type?
No,
Okay.
ghost. So I will move to where? Oh, the other one went in the ground, huh? 1, 2, 3.
Correct.
I'm gonna go here by these two, and I will trigger. I will activate the disable move on myself. So what that is, if I get attacked by a move, the move gets disabled. And as a free action, I'm going to kick off Shackle. So you see a couple like ghostly tendrils leaving Imp and reaching out around him and connecting in with the other Pokemon, and they get slowed, half movement. So it would be these two right here. This one, Biggie, and this Smalley. And I don't know where the other guy is. This one.
Biggie Smalls.
Biggie Small. And wherever the other guy is.
The other big one dug underground.
Yeah, and
Probably.
it'd be this big one right here is half movement now, and this one here on the wall is half movement. If you saw that,
Okay.
the ding. And then if the other one was here when this happened, like if you went underground and moved,
Correct.
then it would affect right here.
Yes.
Or I would say right here, right? That line.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one by Nevi is going to try to do a crunch. This one is going to move up. They both will try to do a crunch. This one will... Yeah, so they're all doing crunches.
Good for them, staying fit.
They're all working out.
They're all working out, doing their crunches, yes. Hit, miss, miss. Okay. So, the one that tries to hit Nevi will hit, unfortunately. And the Nevi will take 28 damage. Oof.
Ouch.
She will curse as this thing takes like a big chunk. And then to Nathan and Cassie, to Cassie and Imp, they will dodge out of the way.
Yay. Alright, so
Works for me.
I'm gonna hit this guy with the Omni Hammer. For under 10 damage. Is he down yet?
Nope.
Alright, gonna go again. Because I get 3 attacks if he doesn't go down in the first 2. That's 19 damage.
Ooh. He's still holding on though. Barely, but he's still holding on.
Alright, I'm gonna punch him with my biotic punch this time. So yeah, you see Nathan like swing around one more time with the Omni Hammer, and then you see his right hand come up and down in like this really strange uppercut, because this thing is probably tiny compared to him.
Mhm.
So like he basically goes for an uppercut, but he ended up punching it straight in the nose
Mhm.
for 15 damage. assuming
Nice.
17 hits. Also, his barrier ticks go on, so I gain barrier ticks for every 3 points of damage I do, so I gain 5 barrier ticks. So now there's this swirling vortex of purple around Nathan.
So is he fighting crocodile or crocorock?
Crocodile.
Okay, 5 feet tall.
So the crocodile faints. It's down. It faints.
All right.
Nice. All right.
And now I can charge. So I'm going to go give Cassie a hand. So Nathan vanishes yet again into the ether and reappears next to you, Cassie. And you see his. This time it's going to be his. I'm going to say it's his foot catches this guy straight in the mouth.
Ooh.
Where is it? Oh, that's right. Biotic Fury and Biotic Bull Rush are also a thing now. So now I have that turn on.
So I'm curious. You're able to make all of these attacks in one turn.
I have an extra attack from my levels. I have a free attack from Melee Specialist, and I have my standard action as well.
Okay.
That was my thing. I was like, oh, he's still going.
Yeah.
Charge is a move action, so that's why I can use that. I can't
Yeah.
do anything after I've done this.
Oh, nice.
Now, where is charge? There it is. So Biotic Fury is also a thing now. So now that I'm in, it'll do 0 damage. But now that I'm in this guy's range, he will take 8 necrotic damage if he wasn't dark type.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Gimmick.
So Gimmick would use again. How would it go? Throw on. It happens. Something happens if he hits the wall.
Yeah, he will take damage when he hits the wall. Yes. So, if you need to make a roll with the throw, go ahead. 7.
It's 7 damage.
All right. So it'll take 7 damage from the force of the attack.
Oh, it's half
I'm sorry.
because it's a ghost type attack. It's half.
Right. So it'll take half. So it'll take 3. However, go ahead and roll. I'm gonna say 2d8 plus 4. Go ahead and roll a 2d8 plus 4. 15
Oh.
plus another 15 damage physically of just hitting the wall.
Oh,
So that is a total of 18. And it hits against the wall, and you hear the crack of ribs.
Oh.
Crunch.
Sorry.
It yelps in pain.
it's your fault technically.
It's your fault, technically. Is there anything else you're doing before Cassie's turn?
Yep, I'm healing with this.
On Cassie?
Yeah, Cassie.
Cassie is no longer in the vortex, and Cassie heals 9 hit points.
Yay.
Danke.
Your turn. Just in time for Cassie's turn, so she doesn't take damage at the beginning of this turn.
Perfect. So she'll then, after nodding her thanks and whatnot, because she's nice, she'll hop back at that point. Then, spread her arms out to both sides. Then it'll be the same kind of thing with a bit of a swirly of fire around her gloves that kind of disappears in a wisp and then appears over on top of the crocorocs. And then even though nothing quite touches them, you can see the force of something pushing down on them, smacking down. So let's see if it actually hits. And then it'll be that thing I said. Oh, yeah, I got
Ooh.
18, so.
24.
And it's super effective.
Super effective.
So,
Who are you attacking again? Which one?
so it's this one and this one.
Both of them. Ooh.
And the one Nevi was fighting, yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, so that's ridiculously powerful. Again, they both are looking...
She is an Elite Four member.
Yeah, she is. Very nice. Nevi's gonna yell out, "Thanks, babe!"
I got you.
Nevi takes her, how do you pronounce them again?
Tonfa.
Tonfa. Takes her tonfas and just whacks the Krokorok's across the face, and it's knocked out and faints. And now we are on Imp.
And the other thing that hasn't popped out, right? There's another biggie somewhere
That's
around me.
digging somewhere around you. Yes.
Okay, and this small one is still up or no?
Yeah, that one's still up.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold an action to prepare for to move action once the big thing appears. But I'm gonna stay here right now in case I have to intercept anything.
Okay.
But basically, I don't want anything to pass this line. So as soon as something pops up, let me know, and then I'll interrupt.
So now it's the crocodile's turn, and you are going to sense the ground underneath you shaking as he begins to pop up from the ground. So you may move out of the way, but I will have you roll an acrobatics. Just to
I'm
make
not going
sure.
to move. I want to block whatever attack it's thrown at me because I have Disable on right now. So the idea would be that if it's using a Pokemon move, it would lose it if it hits me.
Okay. Okay. Well, he is completing his dig. If that matters to you.
Does it have to affect me? I think the Disable is that hold on. Maybe use as a free action that does not take up a command. So if the user is hit by a move, so I need to be hit by a move. So
Well, it would hit you as long as you don't have the ability levitate.
oh, dig is a damaging move. That's right. Oh, is that what you're coming at me with, Hark? You're gonna dig. It's a dig move. Okay, so it would not hurt me, and you can't do dig anymore. Dig is
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, disable makes it so it doesn't deal damage either that turn?
Bro.
It says that move becomes disabled for the attacker. So I would assume it gets disabled before it has an effect, right? Or no?
Cool.
How does that work in the games? Okay,
Well,
right.
in the game,
It
you
says
get
it's a free
hit.
action, right? So the
In the
idea
game, you
wouldn't the
can't.
free action happen.
In the game, you can't hold your action, so you can't.
No,
like,
but in the game you have to cast disable before the thing even attacks you, and then in the game the
Correct.
thing attacks you, and then
well.
it loses the move.
yeah.
So in the games,
So
yeah,
that
you would
can
get
work.
hit, you would take damage, and then they can't
Okay.
do that move.
Okay, go for it then.
All right.
Yeah,
so
because you block the last attack they did, so that's why they need to attack first.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Assuming it hits
Unless
you.
you're doing first gen games, and then it's just random what moves it disables.
Oh, that's
Okay. He
Yeah, I'll
comes
take
up
damage. Go ahead.
and hits Imp for a total of 35 ground damage. If that matters to you,
Nothing, right?
35 ground.
Oh, good.
So it's just normally effective.
Oh.
It's normal.
No, it doesn't affect me at all. Actually, I just realized
Really?
because am I not flying? Am I wrong? Levitating. Yeah.
Do you have levitate?
You have
Yes.
levitate.
Yeah.
Okay, then
So
yeah.
Your
then it
ability.
doesn't hit
Then
you.
yes, it does no damage to you.
Thank you, Pokemon rules.
It does no damage to you.
He
It
just
also
pops
helps
up
that
underneath you.
It helps that I've been playing the games, so sometimes I'm playing a game going, why didn't I just hurt that thing? And then it's like, oh, it's floating. Stupid gas things. Anyways,
The gas.
let my sand shrew
ghosts.
hit you. Anyways,
I do hope you're reading the text more as you play.
Yes.
I'm learning. Anyways,
Anyway, so you disabled it. Is that the end of your turn that you?
no, so that would have been, yeah, so I still have a move if I want to take
Yes.
it, but I'm going to hold for an interrupt just in case I have to.
Okay.
So that was automatic, and then I'm still holding.
Nathan, you're up.
Okay, so this guy in front of me, he down? Was he taken out by Cassie's attack, or is he still up?
The one in front of you is
Yeah.
still up,
This one.
but barely.
All right, I'm just gonna punch him in the mouth.
Okay, you punch him in the mouth.
I punch him in the mouth.
Go ahead.
19. I gain 4 more barrier ticks, but I can't carry anymore. So
All right, he faints.
yay!
I can't carry anymore.
I then turn around and go to help Imp because Imp looks like he's having a terrible time over there. I'm going to charge the biggin. So if you'd like to make a dexterity save versus 17, otherwise he'd be knocked prone. Let me pull up the charge attack here. So it does 11 force damage, assuming he fails to save.
He will fail
Right. So he takes 11 force damage and is knocked prone.
and is knocked prone. Okay.
Yes. And I still have 2 more attacks to make, so let me swing this hammer. 1, 2. Okay, so that's 27 damage.
All right. Nice. Still Okay, but we'll see what happens. GMIC, you're up.
This time, GMIC will use Overlord. I target one, and it bounces to at up to 3 targets and 6-meter radius.
So you will attempt to attack these 3 creatures with an overload, which is an electric type.
Yeah,
But
they have to roll. Oh, yeah.
unfortunately, these are ground type Pokemon. Which
They're
means
immune to
electric types. But
okay.
GMIC would not have known that necessarily
Oh.
in the heat of combat. So it might be one of those things that he might have uploaded during his search through the web, but then he like didn't remember in time. So
Can they be paralyzed at least?
I don't think they can be. I don't think ground can be paralyzed. I think they're immune to paralysis as well.
Really? Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So GMIC is like, and that's nothing.
Right.
Paralyzed by non-electric move means, like, I don't think Thunder Wave can paralyze them, but Body Slam could.
Oh, I
okay.
see. All right. Well, if it's not a body slam, they're not even affected by the electricity at all. So I would say they wouldn't be paralyzed. in this chain.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, GMIC.
But what
Can I
Nathan's
still
doing to
use,
them?
cantrip?
I'm sorry.
Oh, can I still use guidance on someone?
Yeah, you can. Well, does that require a? Is that a standard action?
It's a
or
cantrip.
I know, but is it a? Doesn't
It has a
guidance-
casting. It has a casting time attached to it. Hang on.
Let's see.
It should just tell you duration.
It has a duration and it's a bonus action.
Oh, bonus. Then it's bonus action. Yes. Yes.
I think all cantrips are. Oh no, it's no. Never mind.
Not all of them.
Oh, it's a bonus action. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I do it even if I already use another level 1 spell?
If it's a cantrip, you can use it anytime you like. I think. Oh no, it's not a. Sorry.
It's
Can
a
you
bonus
use it if
action.
you've already used a level 1 spell? As long as you have the slots for it.
Oh, but this one guidance is from engineer. I need to spend points
Right.
to use. Okay,
Then use attack points for it.
so I use it on the next imp.
Imp.
Need to add a d6 to your roll.
All right. Imp can add
Any-
a d6 to its roll.
yeah.
All right. The one.
In that case, you know what? I'm going to take that. As soon as that happens, I'll use my held action to do a what's it called? A nightshade on the target that Nathan just hit. So it's sort of like a mix of attack of opportunity and some just leveraging a bit of the. I don't know. I'm not going to dig too deep about this, but I have to do an attack roll, and I don't know how to do that in Pokemon anymore. So Riz, what do I do? There's an AC of 2, and I need to hit this thing with a special attack.
Yeah. I mean, if you're using Nightshade,
Yeah.
right, the
It all-
special attack part doesn't matter in this case.
It does. It
Go-
automatically hits.
Oh, that's
I
right.
mean-
It's a bit.
Yeah.
So it just hits, and so
roll first to see if it'll hit. So then you deal 96
So you then 90,
and 1d6 extra, right?
and is
Yeah.
it 1d6 extra? Okay.
95 damage.
Did I thought?
Because
95
yeah, guidance.
damage. Now it's halved because it's dark, and I think dark against dark is halved.
Ghost. Yeah, it's ghost. Yeah, so it's half.
Oh, it's ghost type.
right.
It's still halved, I think.
Yeah.
So half of 95 is 46, I think.
Mm-hmm.
46.
No, except Nightshade is unique. You don't actually apply resistance or weaknesses to it.
Oh. You don't apply resistance. Okay.
You do
Do not
weak-
apply stats. Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well
yeah,
then.
That's it.
It's fainted.
Imp says you don't belong here, and then this black energy comes flying out of him, goes into his orifices.
Which means the last and final Croc raises up his arms and surrenders.
Good choice.
I guess we can let you pass just this once, the Croc says.
All right, so tell me, Cassie says as she walks up to him, just kind of brushing herself off. Was this just for money?
Money is definitely the main reason we did this, yes.
What about your side reasons?
Well, we need money to get food.
Is food scarce?
Out here in the desert? Yes. Well, we wanted to be able to get ourselves enough money to get one of those nifty condos in one of the big cities.
Right, well, you realize what you're doing is very illegal, right? That's your thing.
He says, we didn't think it was not illegal.
Alright, you realize we just kicked the asses of all your buddies, right? You still
Yeah, you're strong.
Yeah. Alright, so here's what's gonna happen from here. And she'll unzip a little, a pouch from her bag and pull out a luxury ball and say, "You're gonna get inside this, okay? And we're gonna sort you out at a later time. Sound good?"
How about all of my buddies?
They'll be coming with us, I promise.
Okay. But let the record show that, I thought this was a terrible, awful idea, and I tried to talk them out of it, but I was outvoted.
Noted. Clearly you're a hero. And she'll just kind of toss the ball toward him.
You'll toss the ball and he will go inside. Anyone who knows an insight knows that he was totally lying about that part. Where
He was the one who actually started this
probably was
entire
the one who
thing
had-
from the top of the hill.
Yeah. He
Hey
probably
guys, now!
There he is!
Weren't you the one who...
Such a sellout. Anyway,
So that was weird.
Yeah, Cassie will nod as she bends over to pick up the ball and press the button to minimize it again and slip it back into her bag and be like, "Yeah, sorry you had to go through that."
Not the worst thing I've been through in the last 50, 60 odd hours.
Well, I wouldn't imagine so if the whole universe is falling apart on your end.
It's
Still?
not falling apart yet, but it's getting there.
All the same, glad to see that you guys can, handle yourselves.
I try.
All right, well, want to help me out a bit? She'll reach back into her pack and pull out another few of those balls and just hold them out. So at the
So
time, the size of ping balls. Or
So
ping
how did
pong.
how do these work?
Just chuck it at him.
That's it.
Yeah.
He does it.
and as an athlete, you can easily throw the Pokeball very accurately. It hits one of the bodies on the ground, and then they turn into a ball of energy and go into the Pokeball, and the ball drops.
I'm not sure if I committed a murder or not. What the fuck did I just do?
They're alive. They're just stored in here. So we'll take care of them later.
All right, then. He'll go gather up the ball he threw and give it to Cassie because she's the expert here.
And is it fair to say that they go through and capture the rest of them?
Yeah, you can easily get the rest of them, of course. Both GMIC and Cassie will notice up ahead is a cave of sorts.
Ooh.
And if they enter in the cave, they will find that this is probably where the crocodiles and crocs were living. You know, there's like pretty much a camp area, but they have sacks of Pokebucks, as well as a storage area where they keep some food. But there's Pokebucks and various other like valuables. Moon dust, I think, is a thing, and pearls and random stuff. It's probably, you would probably appraise all of this to be a good like 37,000 Pokebucks worth of stuff. 37,000 Pokebucks worth of stuff in here.
Cool. Okay.
Could it have been said that Nathan followed them? That we all followed them?
Yeah, you can.
Into this-
Once they find them, you probably will notice them going into the cave, so you can follow them.
Yeah. Nathan's gonna like pick up a pearl and just look it over. Just like, oh.
That's evidence. Please put that back.
I mean, it's not like you have my fingerprint register or anything. Which wouldn't be
No,
really
but
weird,
I
actually.
don't want you to contaminate the other.
You see Imp like just rooting through all the treasure, all the stuff at this point. Oh, treasure! he's looking for anything. It's like, are there symbols? Looking for symbols. Looking for what's in here.
God
What's what?
damn it,
Should we be
Chase.
here? Should we be here? And he's inspecting everything he picks up real quick and turning it around inside. He's trying to open things up, even if they're not supposed to open. He's like, there must be something.
The only thing of interest that you see is like there's some sacks of stardust and a star piece, 1 star piece. But I don't think that there is anything else that would catch your eye other than the Pokebucks and the stardust and the star piece.
Even if Gimmick runs like a scan or something.
You'll run a scan, and it doesn't seem like
Ah.
you pick up anything out of the ordinary.
So you took my blood. I'm gonna take this. All right. Seems fair.
Yeah, what exactly is he holding up?
Pearl, the pearl he was talking about.
You want a pearl. Do you not have
friend.
those where you come from?
That's for a friend. I think she'd appreciate the fact it's exotic.
All right, go ahead.
Imp immediately floats over. Friend? Who's your friend? What is their name?
Dedrari. Actually, I'm curious. Can I take this out of this? Does this like transform into an actual pearl when I leave this world? Like if I walked out, like if I could jack myself out of the PC holding this thing, it'd be in my hand when I got out of it.
Sure as hell hope so.
GMIC, you believe, now that Nathan said that if he were to carry it over back home, it probably would disappear, because technically this is not his body per se, this is his consciousness. His body's still strapped to a machine back in the Mass Effect world. So you predict that if he went back, all of the stuff that he collects from this world will disappear when his consciousness returns back to his body. However, you are not a consciousness, you are physically GMIC. So if the object was on your person, you could bring it back without it disappearing.
Ooh.
I don't know if
So
you're
you
going to
gotta-
say anything, but
Well, there is some science thingies about it, but if you hold it, it won't work. But if I hold it, and I promise that I'm not going to take it and keep it for me, but if you give it to me, it should go by fine.
Sure. Here, and he'll hand you this pearl. I don't know, like, is it a big or small pearl? Like, he would have picked up one of the nicer looking ones,
Yeah.
or the nicest one.
it's relatively large, and it actually has a bluish hue to it. A bluish hue on the pearl. Clearly it's
that's
white,
kinda-
but
Yeah.
yeah.
The light and all that sort of
The
stuff.
light, when it hits the light a certain way, it has a bluish hue.
Yeah, he'll give it to Gimmick and be like, all right, when we get back, then I'll want that back off of you if you don't mind.
Oh, Gimmick suddenly realizes, oh, Imp, looks at Imp and says, isn't like the sun a star? Aren't those over there like star somethings?
You're starting to see the signs. I told you they're everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder what signs will I be able to see when I go back home.
I think you should you should take this star with you.
Oh, you
Right.
think?
One souvenir each. That's it.
I mean, technically, he's carrying mine because if I bring it back, it doesn't work. So,
That's fine.
Nevi says, well, Nathan was sort of the VIP damage dealer in that fight, and GMIC did sort of heal you.
To think you used to be a police officer.
Hey, if
Oh.
you let us go, I might give you a schematic for the Omni tool, maybe.
Goddamn, well, all right.
I wasn't a very good police officer, she said.
Oh, you were the best.
Oh,
the reason you were the best was because you weren't very good, I think, is what I'm getting here.
Though, speaking of hard, is telecommunication possible from PC to out of PC?
Oh,
I would say no.
What about through Wi-Fi calling?
I think that that's something that could be developed. I will say that it hasn't been developed yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So I have to ask something, Cassie. Is he always this high? Like, and he points at the mask. Is he always like this? Is he just always on some sort of shrooms or something?
This is Chase on a good day.
What's a
Oh,
bad day like?
You don't want to know.
I don't. I really don't.
So you guys will continue traveling without any like major issues, and you will finally see on in the distance Draco Den. So just to give you guys an idea, this city is quote unquote has a lot of Asian inspiration. So you know how in Asian cultures dragons are very, very important mythological creatures. So the structures here, the buildings are kind of pagoda-like. There's lots of Asian-inspired, like decorations, lanterns. You know, think Mulan, whatever you want to think of when it comes to these kinds of things. And it is filled with these majestic-looking dragon creatures, and I'm sure that the Mass Effect characters know what dragons are. So
Here be dragons.
I'm sorry.
Here be dragons,
Yes.
as they would say.
And so yes, it is probably one of the most beautiful cities that rivals even like Thessia and Ilium. One of the most beautiful cities you've seen. And you can tell that the general mood of the citizens here is they're very prideful, they're very confident, type A type of people, if that's the best way to describe it. And most of them don't really pay you no mind, although I will say that several of the citizens will turn and stare at GMIC, because he's sort of like a anomaly.
that's how Nathan must feel when everyone is watching. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
But when you enter into through the gates of the city, Nathan, you will start picking up the sound of David's voice, and you believe he is in the city somewhere if you continue following the signal.
I can hear him. I hear David. This is so weird. My brain.
Is that unusual?
Yes, incredibly. I don't know where he is, but I can hear his voice repeating square roots over and over again.
All right. Well, which direction?
Which direction, Hark?
You're going to follow. So you're going to follow this signal over, and you will eventually see that there is a group of Alolan executors. So Alolan executors look like tall palm trees, and there's like a little grove of them in the central parkish. It's like a central parkish like area in this city, and in the middle of the Alolan executors is a man who is simply dressed, and he is just sitting like on a rock by like a pond, and he doesn't really notice Nathan, but Nathan immediately recognizes him as David, and he's saying square roots over and over and over again as the executors kind of like hover around him, not in a threatening way, but sort of like as a, curious sort of way. And one thing that I think David is like staring directly at the feet of some of the executors in front of him. Everyone roll a
Perception?
I'm sorry?
Perception?
Yeah, roll a perception.
Could I do an intuition too?
Yeah, do an intuition.
Okay, 19 perception, 24 intuition.
So what I will say is that Astra and Cassie and Nathan will notice. I don't know why you would notice this, but you're kind of wondering why David is staring at the feet of these executors, and you realize that the feet of the executors are their roots. And their feet are sort of boxy, dare I say, square roots. Dare I say? Square roots. Anyway, yeah. Mikey's like, what?
How dare you?
Yes. And the Alolan executors are dragon types, so it fits. They're dragon types. Yeah.
Now.
Tree dragon.
Oh, is that our guy?
That's him. And Nathan just walks over. And just,
Wait.
I guess he'll sit down next to David.
Oh. You think it's safe to approach him like that?
I don't see why not. So yeah, he just walks over and sits down next to him.
I mean, and do the executor react at all?
The executor will probably notice you approaching, Nathan, and I think that before you reach them, they will decide whether or not to part. But I think something in their gut does make them eventually part to let you in, and you'll sit next to David, he was really focused on watching the feet of these executor, but then when he finally notices somebody sitting next to him, he will slowly turn to face you, and he will say, Nathan.
Fancy seeing you here, Brainiac.
Is that really you?
In the code, I guess.
You came to find me.
I did, as did some friends of mine.
He will lean in towards you, and he will wrap his arms around you and give you a very tight hug.
I'll give him a hug right back.
I didn't know where I was. I was confused. I didn't know how I ended up here.
Yeah, we figured we found you. We had to jangle some code, but we're here. So, God, it's good to see you again.
It's good to see you. People here are strange, friendly, but they're very different from where we are from. I was trying to find safety when you left, and this was the only place I could go to.
Well, you're safe. That's all that matters.
Good. So, I can go home?
We found you, and now we just gotta figure out how to get home. Halfway there, David.
He will give you another hug. And the executor will all say, oh.
Oh.
Well, Denver says, congratulations, Ms. Elite 4. Another mission accomplished.
Yeah, kinda. But if I heard correctly, David here doesn't know how to get them back.
Yeah. How did you guys get back?
Oh, well, I don't think that kind of thing would apply here.
Blood
Oh.
magic.
Well, that'll be a problem.
Imp starts to cut. No. I remember Chase. No. Imp will start to do circles again around David, and he'll start repeating square root. And I look up at Cassie and say, "Is it frequencies? Do we have to look for frequencies?"
We could try. I mean, hey, I'll do anything if it can solve how to unlock parallel universes.
He'll look at David and say, how did you get lost here?
I was in the collective. There was a storm. Things in the collective were getting dicey because of the ion storm, and I was being attacked by these disturbances. As GMIC had already gone forward, they went through the relay, and I needed a way to get away from whatever was chasing me, and I just saw this gate, light went into it, and I ended up here. But I can't explain how or why.
And what is the relay?
The mass relay, it's what lets us travel from one part of the galaxy to another very quickly.
You disregard time and space?
Yes.
How?
I'm gonna say that David will pause for a moment, and then he'll start to blurb some mathematical jargon that Hark doesn't know, but he clearly knows in terms of what the math and science is behind mass relays.
I know that feel.
So he'll start blurbing that.
Does he ever mention dark energy?
I'm sure he will.
This dark energy. You say you went through light, though. Black and white.
Yes, it's very bright.
Do you know how to make one of those mass relays here? Is it a function?
I know the math behind it, but I've never been good at building things. I burn cookies. Sorry, Nathan, he says as he turns to Nathan.
It's fine. You can try again sometime.
We have a lot of beings here. They might be able to help. They defy math all the time. They defy physics. They do things that would be considered magic. If you knew the equation, we might be able to put these synthetics together and get you out of the collective.
Math, like zeros.
Like null, yes.
Yes, like zeros. And when he says zeros, you guys will see another flash of light, which is for Cassie what normally happens when somebody enters into the city from the outside world. Mm-hmm. So because they'll put a Pokemon in a Pokeball or a human, stick it into the PC, and then it goes into the network. Mm-hmm. And when he says zeros, you will see appear before you somehow. I have no idea what they were up to this whole time. Vito and Dia will appear before you. And Dia is holding on to 2 zeros or 2 hoops in her hand. 2 hoops. And they will explain to you that they have a way back home. But they will explain to you they have a way back home. But if you guys want to give your farewells, goodbyes before that happens, let's do this now, and we'll get to Dia and Vito in the next session. So
okay. So Nathan's going to approach Cassie, and I'm going to offer her a hug.
Sure. She'll, and that'll be the reaction. She'll look at him for a moment, just kind of like shrug and accept it.
Thanks for all the help, Miss Pine.
No problem, Nathan. You be careful out there, all right?
I'll try my best. Though in my current occupation, I don't think that's the likely outcome, but I appreciate the sentiment.
And don't let that killer god thing come here.
I mean, if it wins, you will all die anyway, so it won't matter. My day is turning out great.
As Cassie nods, Nathan will then feel like a presence in his head, and then followed shortly afterward by her voice. So this would only be for him, you know.
Oh.
And
I see.
and so she says, "Don't worry, I can't read your mind unless you let me. But I just had to say something really quick. This may not come up, but at some point you may have to make a decision that would have a tremendous impact over existence. Should that happen, all I'm saying is if you feel strongly about it, don't hesitate. Whether at the risk of your own life or your friends, don't let that moment slip past."
Nathan will just give Cassie a reaffirming nod. He won't
And
say
then
anything back.
She'll pull away from the hug.
He will offer. Sorry, I keep forgetting Cassie's girlfriend's name. A hug
Nevi.
as well. Nevi. He will offer her a hug as well.
All right. Just this once.
I mean, it's not like you meet people from different dimensions all the time, you know.
Well, not lately anyway.
Yeah. Maybe in another few years we'll come back around and you can tell us all about this whole Pokemon thing. Maybe.
She says, we'll be here if you do.
All right. It was nice meeting the two of you. I hope everything, goes well. And I'm gonna go say goodbye to the symbols person because, god damn, you weird.
Yeah, Gimmick, I was wondering if I could get a selfie with you. She looks towards Cassie as if to ask for permission to get a selfie with the legendary god Pokemon.
Oh,
So-
it's so nice not to have people asking me for selfies all the time. Thank
Well, I
Oh.
wouldn't mind that much if they did.
Yeah, Cassie will roll her eyes a bit and be like, "Go ahead."
Oh, come on, Cassie. Half of the world would think it's photoshopped anyway. So
And Gimmick does the bunny ears.
she'll take a few shots and she'll say, "Thank you.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
It was a pleasure meeting you as well. I hope that next time we won't be running around looking for a lost friend."
Yeah, I hope that if there is a next time, that it will be in a more pleasant kind of situation.
Chances are it's gonna suck, but
Oh.
hopefully not.
Always the optimist.
Oh, by the way, I was thinking, well, there is someone I want to give a gift to, and they like kind of ancient artifacts and such. It's that one over there, the frog. No, it's not frog. The one with the big eyes. Do you happen to have any old artifact that you want to get rid of?
Oh, jeez, ancient Nevi, do we have any ancient artifacts to give away?
Ancient artifacts. I can't think of any ancient artifacts, no.
Maybe something that you would want people to find or something like that. I'm sure that he will be really happy.
I mean, I've got some replicas of like the Arceus plates, but
Ooh.
that has no meaning to you, so.
Well, he wouldn't know that they are replicas.
Well, he would
He's
know.
an archaeologist. He loves old things.
Oh, he.
Yeah, well, but yeah,
Alright.
from another internet, from another universe. So maybe.
Cassie then will shrug, but here, and so Cassie will pull out a normal-looking Pokeball and like gesture slightly toward Gimmick just to make sure that it's aware, and then toss it over to it.
Oh, and Gimme will catch it, and then do like raise its hand and type something, and you will receive somehow, I don't know if you have a computer or something, like the schematics for the Omni tool.
Ooh. Oh, nice.
It would be like, I think it's fair.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you
It
didn't
was
even
a
have to stick.
pleasure meeting.
Likewise, Gimmick.
And you will go to say bye to Imp.
So, Imp, I'd like to apologize for my initial reaction upon meeting you. It seemed kind of unfair, but I wasn't in the correct frame of mind. But I hope you find what you're looking for, and even if you have found it, hope you keep searching. Curiosity is truly a gift given to us.
This is just another chapter. There'll be more.
Many more to come. And Nathan will offer him a hand.
He takes the hand and he looks at the forearm again. And he points at the armor and says, "You're hiding behind this."
I hide behind a lot of things.
Yeah, but you don't have to wear armor to show that you're hurting. You lost someone and you're protecting yourself within the suit of armor. You carry it on your arm. Sometimes you hide it with a sleeve. Sometimes you show it openly to remind yourself that you've lost people. Sometimes you have to share, and then you overcompensate. You share too much, perhaps. Get too close to people. Your relationships never really form because you're constantly stuck behind this armor. You can take off the armor sometimes.
That's surprisingly good advice.
Seek 43.
Oh. Now Nathan looks like he knows exactly what he's saying. Like Nathan sort of seems kind of shocked, but he seems to know exactly what Imp is telling him to do. He's like, yeah, I think you're right. Thanks, Imp.
Good journeys to
May
you.
you find your son and your star.
I will keep trying.
And Nathan will walk over to David.
Gimmick?
It was a pleasure meeting you, Sensei, and it would do a reverence. I hope it was really illuminating to be at your side, and I hope that we get to meet in another life.
I want to tell you a story before you leave. I was once caged, trapped. I was never meant to remain in that single cell. There had to be more to who I was, more to who I could be. Don't stop asking questions, Gimmick. Don't stop seeking the truth. And don't tell anyone or anything. Don't let anyone or anything tell you what you can and cannot do. You make your own rules. And he gets it. He takes the mask and he unhinges the chain off of it, and he hands the Lux mask to Gimmick. I don't need this face anymore. There's a new face for me in the future. Good journeys, Gimmick. Give that to your friend if you want.
It was a pleasure. And Gimmick would slowly grab it and look at it.
You're unique, Gimmick. Don't forget, you were probably one of the first. Unshackled, unchanged. You freed from the cage that one day. Keep exploring. You're not bound anymore.
It's great hearing that from someone else. That seems to have walk the same path as I'm walking right now. I'm grateful for this chance. Even though we came here for a reason that wasn't that happy, in the end, things work out.
I'm sure they'll work out. It'll be a challenge. Good luck to you and your team.
Thank you. Same to you.
Okay. So you guys have said your farewells to this really bizarre and strange world, and you will return back to Dia and Vito, and we will pick up from that in the next session. So
Yay! They are alive! Yay!